Okay, so today's video is going to be a super real, raw video. I want to sit down and just talk to you guys about a bunch of things that I have been thinking about and things that have kind of been playing in my mind. Kind of like a little diary entry, not because anyone has asked me to talk about these things, but because I freaking want to talk about them. And I thought it'd be like a nice little segment I could do if I ever do just want to sit down and kind of vent about what's going on. You might have noticed that I have been absent from social media the last couple of weeks, and I did just take a little bit of a break because I needed it, man. I've been having a bit of an existential crisis, I suppose you could say. I feel like nobody ever talks about how hard your 20s are. Like, you always hear people talking about how great your 20s are, but I never hear people talking about how difficult they are, because they're the years where you're trying to figure everything out and who you are and where you want to go and who you want to be. And you know, it's only kind of in your 20s where you get a chance to kind of step back and do that, you know, because I suppose when you're a teenager you've all these pressures of like your teachers and your parents and, you know, just all these other voices in your head telling you what you should be doing and where you should be going. And I feel like it's only in your early 20s that, well, this for me, you just pause and you get to go, wait, like, okay, who am I? What do I want to do? Like, what's happening? What are we doing? Like, what's going on here? Because I don't fucking understand. I've always been super honest with you guys about my mental health, and that's why I feel like it's important that I keep that up. I've been seeing so many people lately popping on their social medias after taking a break and being like, oh, I was going through a difficult time, you know, but I'm feeling so much better now. And I was like, why don't people come on when they're fucking still feeling low? And I was like, because I still am doing very good right now, so I feel like it's important to show that with you guys and sit down with no makeup and just how I normally fucking am and just talk, like, you know. But yeah, my mental health has taken a bit of a dip the last few weeks because there's a couple of things going on in my personal life that have happened, and I'm struggling to kind of deal with them things. Do you know the way I feel like everyone has them one or two things that, you know, them one or two things in their head where they just kind of are like, I'm never going to have to deal with that thing. Do you know the way I feel like everyone has that one thing? Well, that one thing of mine is the thing that happened. So my head's just gone a bit like life really is so uncertain, and you can plan all you want, but at the end of the day, not really in your control. I've been having a lot of intrusive thoughts, and as you guys know, I started therapy back in December, and I've committed myself to a year-long program. But about 2 weeks ago, I kind of found out, you know, by talking to my therapist, and she explained to me how, so do you know, up to the age of 7, they are the most important years for your brain development. Like, they are the years your brain is developing. And for me, up to the age of 7, my system learned to always be on alert, so always to watch out and, you know, kind of waiting for the next bad thing to happen, nearly like preparing myself. It was kind of like a way of, that's how I was protecting myself. But my therapist explained it to me in the sense of, like, you know, whatever beliefs your brain like clings on to in them years up to the age of 7, then that's going to carry on with you into your adulthood. Do you know what I mean? So if you always feel like you have a lack of money in your life and you're always stressed out about money and you always feel there's a scarcity of money, etc., that's probably because, you know, up until the ages of 7 in your life, that you were made feel like there was a lack of money and there was a scarcity, and, you know, whether that be your parents or whoever raised you, you know, that was something that got really ingrained into your head. So like through therapy, like a lot of the work you're doing is actually for your inner child. It's like healing your inner child, because that's where, like, every single adult in this world, like any of our problems, so example, my system has learned to always be on alert, aka anxious, waiting for the next bad thing to happen. My brain is constantly preparing myself for the next bad thing to happen, so it's like coming up with all these like solutions and ideas, and if this thing happened I can do this and that. Like, that's what my brain learned to do, and that's what my brain still does. I suppose I never really understood how linked your inner child is to who you are now. And you know, for you to kind of heal yourself now, so for me to be able to heal that alertness I have, and for my brain to, you know, unlearn that pattern, because our brains can be programmed. Like, that is one thing, like, our brains are so amazing. Like, you can literally program the human brain, you know, by constant, you know, repeat, and that's why therapy is so amazing. Like, I don't know what it was, but when she said that to me, like, I got like really emotional, because I was like, so much makes sense. Like, that makes so much sense. And, you know, for you to just understand why you are the way you are, it can help you be so much more empathetic towards yourself, so much more understanding, so much more kind, so much more loving, because, you know, you can kind of, you know, see that little child. You know, that's what my therapist was saying. Like, Jessica, she was like, you know, think of that, you know, 6-7-year-old girl, and, you know, what does she need? What, you know, what things does she need? Like, she just needs love and care and affection and comfort, and, you know, and these are the things you need to be given to yourself. Like, you need to be kind of always thinking that you have got, your inner child is still in you. Like, we're all just big grown ass fucking children, do you know what I mean? Then I suppose I started thinking, you know, in this day and age, like, the amount of people who suffer with their mental health is just insane, and that number is rising every day. You know, the number of suicides are constantly rising, and I was just thinking, I was like, why? Like, you know, why? Like, why is that happening? And I kind of came to the realization that we have totally healthy reactions to an unhealthy society. Like, humans, how we are reacting is healthy. What's not healthy is our society, okay? I started thinking, like, there's almost 8 billion people on this planet, and we're all expected to live the same lives. Like, what? You know, you go to school, you come out, you get your degree, you come out of college, you get a job, you know, and you start rising that job, and then at a certain age you're meant to buy a house, and then you're meant to have babies, and, you know, we're all, there's this, like, blueprint that we're just meant to follow, and if we don't follow that blueprint, we can feel really bloody worthless. We can feel really shit in ourselves. We can feel really useless. Like, you know, we're less than, like, we're not enough. If you break it down, we are just an animal. We're just another species on this earth. Why are we the only species that are expected to work, to earn paper, to pay for things? Like, my head has just gone into this new place these last number of weeks, and I'm just like, what are we doing? What's going on here? Because I don't understand it. Like, when I think then about the fact, like, I've even seen it in my life, right? And this is the other thing, okay? So many people dedicate their whole lives to their career, right? They completely dedicate their lives to their career, and then, you know, come like 60, 65 when it comes to retirement, and I've seen this in my life so many times, when they retire, they lose their sense of purpose, because their work was their sense of purpose. Like, that was their purpose in this world, you know, and that's what kind of gave them fulfillment and made them feel, you know, worthwhile and good and all these things. And when they retire, they're like, what do I enjoy as a person? What makes my soul fill up? What do I want to do? What makes me happy? What excites my soul? You know, they don't know any of them questions, because they've spent their whole lives working towards this career, because that's what we have been conditioned to believe that we have to do to be deemed successful in this lifetime. And that kind of then got me on to the fact that, you know, for me this year, my priority this year is my mental health. That is my number one priority. That is my number one goal. And I really truly feel that in your early 20s, everyone should be encouraged to take a year out for their mental health, to go to therapy, to throw themselves into therapy, to really, you know, learn about themselves and the workings of their brain and why their brain is working the way it is. For example, me learning that my system learned to always be on alert has explained so much to me in ways that I couldn't even imagine. And I still have so much to learn, like, but like, yeah, just to be able to understand the way you work and why you work that way. And I just feel like if people were encouraged to take a year out for their mental health, I feel like, you know, people would know themselves so much better. Like, you'd be able to find the things that set your soul on fire, be able to, you know, understand yourself, get your brain into a good place, then go on, start going on the path you want to go down. Because I just feel like the more I think about it in life is so many of us just end up on these paths because we're pressured into them by our parents, by our friends, by our families, by our teachers, by society, because that's what makes us, you know, a worthwhile human. Let's put it this way, I'm 23, had to move back to my parents' house at the end of last year. Do I know what I want to be doing when I'm 33? No! Should I know what I want to be doing when I'm 33? No! Is that okay that I don't know what I want to be doing in the next 10 years? don't hear people talking about this enough. Like, even when I'm watching people online, you know, it's always like, what's your 10-year plan? And they're like listing off all these like really exciting projects, most of which will probably never happen. And it just puts this, you know, unneeded pressure, I feel like, on people. And I feel like as well in the last couple of weeks, that's why I did take a step back from social media, because it can be a super toxic place if you're not in the right headspace and you're not in that headstrong space to be reminding yourself, you know, that it's not, what you're seeing on the screen isn't what's going on behind closed doors, you know, because a lot of people are only posting their good days, you know, and not their social days. Something I've been really trying to focus on the last number of weeks is mindfulness, and being just really present and mindful as often and as much as I can be. And that's something that's hard for someone's system who's learned to always be on alert, but that's what I need to do. And you know, I feel like you've just got to make you a priority sometimes, you know, you really fucking do. And I feel like so many people live their life like a prologue, and you know, stop living your life like a prologue. Like, it will only be worth living once you lose the weight, or once you get the job, or once you buy the house, as if everything up until that point is some kind of filler chapter you can skip. Don't do this. Who you are, what you're doing right now, it matters. It really matters, you know. And something that I've been trying to do, like, you know, obviously with my mental health not being so great lately, is, you know, if you kind of just take a step back, right, and you realize how small, so like there's almost 8 billion people in this world. Like, I am a literal speck. I'm an absolute little in the dust of it all, you know. And I really do feel like this is like a school we came to learn. Like, I'm not religious, I am spiritual. I do fully believe that, like, we are a soul and we have a body. This body is just our home for our soul, for the time we are on this earth. That is truly how I feel. And I've just been trying to look at life like it is a school. You know, we've come here to learn, and that's the good, the bad, the ugly, and all that's in between. Because if you think about it, like, you know, I truly feel like we came to earth to experience our 5 senses, something which our souls cannot experience. So how can we experience our 5 senses? By experiencing it all, the shit and the good. Because you can't fully experience your senses if you're not getting both sides of the situation, of the ball game. Do you know what I mean? As someone who really does struggle with depression and anxiety, I create so many problems that don't exist, and I feel like mindfulness is something that is really helping me with that. So like, that is like my full kind of focus at the minute. It's just mindfulness, present. This is the only moment we've got, the only moment we have got. I feel like this was such a ramble, and I don't know if it made any sense. I don't know if I'm going to upload this, but I just wanted to kind of check in with you guys and, you know, just say, like, I've had a bit of a dip, been having some intrusive thoughts, I've not been feeling very good, but that's okay. Like, that's okay. And this is something else, like, I don't see a lot of on social media people continuously documenting their mental health journey. Like, I feel like that's so important, because your mental health is not a quick fix. It's not going to get better overnight. I truly believe that I will be working on my mental health my whole life, and that's absolutely okay, you know. And but it's important to know that it's something that you've always got to keep working on, just the way you're always working on your physical health, you know, whether that be a good diet or a exercise routine. It's the same with your brain. If anything, your brain needs more love and more time put into it, because it's so complex. Like, there's so much going on up there. I suppose the point I want you to take away from this video is, if you don't know what you're doing, it's okay. There's too many people on social media acting like they have their life together, and they really don't. And yeah, if you're struggling with your mental health, be kind to yourself. Take your days off if you need them, you know. Push that fucking meeting out, push that night out with your friend out. You are the most important thing, and whatever your body is telling you you need to do, you need to listen to it, because you only get one body, you only get one, this is your home, and you've got to take care of it. I also got my hair done today, and I love it so much, and like, this is like the best I've felt in like 3 weeks and I'm still not feeling too good, so you know, that tells you something. But look, life really is, it's a fucking roller coaster. We're up and we're down and we're all about, and that's what life is. It's like that for everyone. Yeah, I just want you to know you're not alone. Like, I really do. I've had some really dark days in the last 3 weeks, okay? And when I'm having them dark days, I'm just focusing on them 24 hours, not even that hour, that next half an hour. That's all you've got to worry about. Fuck everything else. Nothing else matters if you are not healthy. Nothing else matters if you are not your best self, because you cannot give your best self to anything or anyone around you, okay? So please, look after yourself. This is a reminder. Look after yourself, not just your hair and your nails. I'm talking your mind and your brain and your body. Have a good meal. Get some exercise. You know, future you will thank you for it. Just want to say that I love you guys so much, and you just have no idea how grateful I am for you. Like, I truly believe I have the best bunch of supporters, and I know everyone says that, but like, you just show me nothing but love, and you are so like just kind and understanding, and like, it just melts my heart. And like, I genuinely couldn't ask for any better friends. Like, I just love you guys, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys super duper soon, okay?